let's go to the most important question. What can you do with your investments to be a good steward during a time like this? What can you do to protect your wealth, your money? Because we all know if you leave your cash sitting in a bank account, it's not a savings, a high interest paying savings, especially if it's just a checking account, your money's being eaten alive by inflation. The cost of goods, the cost of gas, the cost of milk, it's going up faster than the value of the cash that's sitting in the bank account. Now, I went and parked some of my cash in a high interest paying account. I recommend everybody do that right away. Like, not risky, but there's savings accounts now that are literally paying 5% interest, depending on when you catch this episode. So I'd recommend at least making that move. I'm not your financial planner by any means, so don't take my advice on savings accounts, but that's what I did for my family. I'm not just going to let my cash get eaten away by inflation. I do want to have some cash in hand too. And then the next thing is this. I went back in time and I looked at what were the smart assets, what were good places to park cash. And one that I'm going to point out, partially because I am a real estate investor, partially because this is just the reality, is real estate did pretty well. And I'm displaying, for anyone that can see a video version of this, I'm displaying on the screen right now the median sales price for houses in the United States, according to the Federal Reserve website. And they went up the whole time. They didn't have a big crash. People were kind of anticipating it because, we talked about it or they talked about it during that era. I wasn't even alive during this era. I was born right at the end of the era. But consequently, like, there was no big crash. It just was a slow, steady growth in prices going up. So a hard asset like that was good. The other thing that I do want to point out that was really good to people is specifically gold and silver. Gold was the winner. It rings the bell in almost every single category. And then one specific, I had to go back and dig for this using a little bit of AI tool, but the other one that was very specific is certain commodities. The S&P 500, specifically the GSCI, it went up a lot during that period of time. Now, you can't say that exact GSCI S&P 500 is going to be the thing that does it this time. Nobody can say that. Nobody knows. For all we know, it could be some tech sector. It could be something to do with blockchain. It could be something to do with AI. We don't know. None of us know. But I do know that hard assets typically do well in an inflationary environment. So look at gold, look at silver, look at other things that you can physically touch that they can't print. If the government can't print it, then there's a good chance that it could hold its value and increase in value. And they're not making more land, and buildings that pay dividends, I'm talking about rent every single month, every single quarter, tend to do really well. The other sector that I'm personally investing in, my family, and we've got some investors that we've invited for the journey with us, is into manufacturing. Right now, jobs are coming back to the United States, manufacturing jobs. We've seen the biggest decline in imports, manufacturing imports from China. From last year to this year, it's the biggest drop in 30 years. They're down by 13%. That's staggering. So manufacturing back here in the United States of America is looking very, very rosy as well. But anyways, you know how to be a good steward of your money. If we enter this stagflation environment, which Mr. Diamond thinks we're going to, and I, for one, do believe the same thing. If we do enter that environment, you have to be an excellent steward of your money, because just parking your money in a savings account isn't going to do much good if inflation just keeps going and going and going and eating it away.
Watch the full episode on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Watch the full episode on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button.